Okay, let's talk about the possible wheat shortages. Everybody's buzzing about it, and I want to actually clear the air about it. Okay, so basically wheat's used for flour, and there's two types: soft and hard wheat, and there's winter and spring wheat. Winter wheat is planted in the fall, harvested in July or so, and spring wheat is planted early in the spring and harvested. In July also. But let's talk about the top exporters of wheat. Now that would be Russia at 43, almost 44 metric tons. Canada at 22.8 metric tons. United States at 22.5 metric tons. France 18.9 metric tons. Ukraine 16.3 metric tons. They're number 5. Now, since we're talking about this hot topic across the world with this Ukraine issue, we need to clear up the air on a few things. Here's actually the wheat production by country, and it's color-coded map. These links will all be down below. But I want you to realize that the worldwide wheat production is not Ukraine. They're number 9, guys, okay? Number 9. China is the largest wheat producer in the world, next to India, Russia, and then the United States, which drops out into approximately half of what Russia actually produces. And remember, I just showed you a number where Russia's exporting half of their wheat. That's why they're one of the biggest wheat producers for exportation. And here's a nice little graph chart. Shows you the production of wheat across the world. And this will tell you right here, just another chart just telling you how much wheat's produced. And if you look at, go all the way down to these countries right here, you'll see that Ukraine's not really even on the map, guys, when it comes to wheat production. They're one of the 5th largest exporter of wheat, but they're not the largest producer by far. So their effect upon the market, I'm going to explain that now if it doesn't get harvested. Now, these are the growing zones for wheat in Ukraine. You'll notice over in this area where they're having issues. This is one of the highest areas right here. And then also the other area over here by Moldova, where Odessa's at, approximately. This is all good growing zones here in Ukraine, right here. Okay, you look at the western part of Ukraine, ain't nothing. It's not the high producer for the wheat. So now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about what spring wheat is. Okay, there are thousands of varieties of wheat grown in 2 seasons: winter wheat and spring wheat. Winter wheat is planted in the fall and harvested in the summer. It needs a good root system and beginnings of shoots before cold weather sets in. Spring wheat is planted in early spring as soon as possible and harvested in late summer. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Now you know what that is. Now let's talk about the wheat production in Ukraine, because this is a hot button topic that people want to talk about. Wheat is grown throughout the country, but the central and south central Ukraine are the key production zones. About 95% of Ukraine wheat is winter wheat, planted in the fall and harvested during July and August of the following year. So what that means, folks, for their wheat production, we're only into March right now. So we got rest of March to go: April, May, June, July. So we got about 4 or 5 months until that would basically, if this little conflict continues and they're unable to harvest the wheat, they got 4 to 5 months to get it settled out. So those that are panicking about the wheat production and wheat exports of Ukraine, it's going to affect the market a little bit if it doesn't get harvested, but it's not going to be the overall punch that people think it's going to be. And let's talk about different types of wheat. Okay, well, first, wheat is really just nothing but grass, really, to be honest with you. So is corn, okay? Now, grass, you grow grass out in your yard, and then it snows and gets really cold during the wintertime, and then it comes right back up, right? Okay, so winter wheat in the fall, harvested in the spring, comprises approximately 75% of the wheat grown in the U.S. Spring wheat, planted in the spring, harvested in late summer or early fall. Okay, so you plant that early spring wheat about, approximately February, March, depending on your area in your grow zone, and then you harvest it around August or September. Beyond the growing season, wheat is further categorized into its hardness, hard or soft, color, red and white, and shape of its kernel. In the end, we're left with the following 6 types of wheat: hard winter wheat, hard red spring wheat, soft red winter, durum wheat, hard white wheat, soft white wheat. The different types and purpose of the type of the wheats are: the protein content of the wheat is primarily determines what the wheat will be used for, and the greater for the protein, the greater elasticity of the dough will be. Hard red winter and hard red spring wheat contain the highest percentage of protein and are most often used in goods requiring size stuff like breads and rolls. So, hard white and soft white contains the lowest percentage of protein and best suited for baked goods like cakes, cookies, crackers, pastries, and muffins. The color of the wheat plays a part too. As many have guessed, the red wheat is darker than white wheat. Red wheat has also stronger, more bitter flavor than white wheat. It is a big deal for many of us home bakers because the manufacturer is trying to create a product that's visually appealing to you. That's why they bleach it when it's red wheat. Hint, hint. Soft winter wheat. Soft red winter wheat is often used blatantly obvious brown crackers and flatbreads. These are often marketed as whole grain crackers and such. Soft white wheat is used in many goods when manufacturers want the item to look and taste white, but be able to claim as healthy as wheat. Whole wheat. One example are muffins made with white wheat. So, you can look to the combinations, and I'll leave this for you. But basically, what's in your all-purpose flour is 80% hard red wheat and 20% soft red wheat, and they bleach it, of course. And it only comes made from the endosperm. That's the little thing inside of it. So they strip all the good stuff off the top of the seed and only use the fruit part of the inside, which has very little nutrients, by the way. Since the germ and the bran, naturally darker, contain all the nutrients. Remember that all-purpose flour tends to be bleached and enriched. Bread flour. Most varieties are made from red hard wheat, and it contains the highest level of proteins. And bread flour is ideal for bread. This is also milled only from the endosperm, the inside part of the wheat, not the outside part. So there's little, if any, nutrition. Bread flour also tends to be bleached and enriched. See? Cake flour usually derived from soft white wheat, but again, only from the endosperm. Pastry flour, with a slightly higher percentage of protein than cake. So I'm going to leave this here for you. Self-rising flour is a combination of all-purpose flour, baking powder, and salt. Not recommended since all-purpose flour is likely bleached and there's no control over the quantity of baking powder or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And stone ground whole wheat made the old-fashioned way, grinding the wheat berries instead of mills. And okay, so this is the whole point I got for you right here. There's a big worldwide scare of wheat shortage now because Ukraine is in a conflict with said country, and they're afraid that they're not going to be able to get the wheat planted and harvested this year. Well, they've already planted the wheat, okay? They have 4 to 5 months to figure out whether they can get it harvested or not, because they grow mostly winter wheat, 95%. So the big scare, there's not going to be enough wheat and the world's going to starve to death. There's going to be a wheat shortage. Now, come on now. You're looking at one country that does produce, as to export, 1/5 of the world's wheat, but it's not really a significant amount when you look at it, okay? When you look at it, their number, 16.3 metric tons. Russia puts out 3 times that. Canada puts out more. The United States, we almost export about 40% of our wheat, guys. Do you know that? Russia's only doing about 1/3 of their wheat. Canada, yeah, you're exporting a lot of your wheat. So the fact that people were having a panic and said, go buy flour for your food and so, yeah, you should have a reasonable amount of flour and baking goods around your house, in case there is a little shortage and rationing. But don't go out and buy 10, 50-pound bags of flour unless you got like a commune and you got to feed like 500 people a day, right? That's all I'm going to say on the topic. Okay, so now you know about the possible incoming wheat shortage from the conflict in Ukraine, and you're more educated now on what you can expect. Don't go panic buying, folks. That panic buying is like when I saw people panic buy toilet paper. It was ridiculous. I got ran over when I was shopping for snacks because I already had all my preps. And now people are hoarding gas and they're siphoning gas off of people's tanks and drilling holes through them, and it's just the same thing as the toilet paper run, in my opinion. Gas prices will stabilize. The politicians will have to fix the issue because they can't sustain having high-priced gas in this country or any other country without getting unelected. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video.